Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the floor. We thank Mr. Pierre Cranbuhl, Commissioner General of UNRWA, for his reports and the briefing. Mr. Chairman, India's deep commitment to the Palestinian cause, including welfare of Palestine refugees, is abiding. India has been supportive of UNRWA's work since its establishment, including its efforts to secure sufficient, adequate, and predictable resources for the duration of its mandate. Against the backdrop of the serious resource constraints faced by the UNRWA, the Government of India has increased its annual financial contribution fivefold to the UNRWA's core budget from $1 million in 2016 to $5 million in 2018. We are committed to contribute $5 million in 2019 also. Mr. Chairman, as part of its ongoing assistance program in Palestine to strengthen capacity building efforts focused on institutions, services, and training personnel, the Government of India provides 150 training slots for Palestinian professionals every year in its Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program. India also provides 100 scholarships to meritorious students under the General Scholarship Scheme of the Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Those programs are also available to Palestine refugees. The Government of India started an annual youth exchange program with Palestine in 2017. Prime Minister Modi, during his visit to Palestine earlier this year, announced that the annual number of young people who took part in the program had doubled from 50 to 100. Palestine refugees also participate in the youth exchange program. In addition, during the last 5 years, under an India-Palestine Development Partnership, 17 agreements have been signed in the fields of agriculture, healthcare, information technology, youth affairs, consular affairs, women's empowerment, and media. Under those agreements, around $70 million of financial support and project assistance has been offered for projects like post-2014 war reconstruction efforts in Gaza, the construction of 5 schools, the India-Palestine Center for Excellence for Information and Communication Technologies at the Al-Quds University, with a satellite center in Ramallah, the India-Palestine Techno Park in Ramallah, a 100-bed super specialty hospital in Bethlehem. We have also established an India Studies Chair at the Al-Quds University and are also under the process of constructing a Palestine Institute of Diplomacy in Ramallah and a national printing press. We are also working to establish a heritage center for empowerment of women and young people in Ramallah. Mr. Chairman, UNRWA, which was established by the UN General Assembly 7 decades ago, today looks after the welfare of 5.4 million Palestine refugees. However, almost all of UNRWA's resources come from voluntary contribution with a limited donor base. This arrangement is fraught with uncertainties. Even the core services to the Palestine refugees, notably in the field of education, health, and assistance to the most vulnerable refugees, are susceptible to interruption. Mr. Chairman, the UN Board of Auditors in their latest report pointed out that as a result of suspended contributions amounting to $400 million in respect of the year 2017 and 18, UNRWA's projected overall deficit is around $450 million. This is unsustainable and a cause of concern. We appreciate the response of donors that had ensured uninterrupted services delivery to the Palestinian refugees and had temporarily reduced the financial shortfall. In this regard, the role of some of Advisory Commission members of UNRWA is also praiseworthy. Since the membership criteria of the Advisory Commission is $15 million worth of contribution during the previous 3 years, we hope that Advisory Commission members who have not been able to contribute up to this level would scale up their contribution in the coming years. Mr. Chairman, we welcome Commissioner General's presentation on the significant agency-wide measures that UNRWA is taking within the framework of its General Assembly mandate to enhance efficiency. We note that these measures had resulted close to $100 million of efficiency saving so far and encourage the Commissioner General to sustain and expand these efforts. However, it's also pertinent to note that these austerity measures are not the only path for UNRWA to deliver on its mandates. Provision of adequate, sustainable, and predictable funding would have to be made. Additional resource allocation from the regular budget could be considered. Mr. Chairman, we appeal to other traditional donors of UNRWA to consider enhancing their contributions and non-donor member states to consider contributing to UNRWA. This is perhaps the practical way of expressing continued solidarity with the Palestine refugees. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.